We are officially
From the heart of college football country, it's College Football Saturdays. Brought to you by Bluff City Media and powered by the good folks at Grind City Brewing. So crack open a cold one, get your tailgate ready, and join us as we dive into the biggest stories in college football.
Welcome back to your home for college football in Memphis, Grind City Brewing. So far this season has proven once again why college football is king. Overreactions are running wild. Alabama was counted out in week 1. Thankfully, that's as high as the state can count, but they've bounced back since. Ole Miss's second biggest tradition of calling it their year, behind Lane Kiffin being tied to any job opening, is in full swing after wins over powerhouses like Georgia State, Kentucky, and Memphis's little brother, Arkansas. The Vols fans will hear cowbells in their sleep for months to come. And then tonight we get a mid-off in Kentucky and South Carolina. But that's not all we get tonight. Yes, Alabama stumbled early, but apparently they've righted the ship. Nick Saban may not be walking through that door, but Jam Miller is. The Tide have struggled on the ground this year, not eclipsing 100 yards in either of their Power 4 games. But Miller looks to help the Tide out of the jam. Dante Moore in Oregon traveled to Happy Valley for one of sports' best traditions. And I'm not talking about James Franklin losing to top 10 opponents. I'm talking about a Penn State whiteout. James Franklin sits at 4-20 against top 10 teams and 1-14 against top 5. Oregon comes to town as both. Is James Franklin going to figure it out, or will the Ducks fly together? So far this weekend has been wild, with the Cavaliers pulling off a massive upset over Florida State. The Yellow Jackets barely surviving a mud-stomping, woodshed-ass whooping by the Irish, and Clemson somehow looking worse in their bye week than they did if they would have played. All that to say, we are just getting started here at Grind City Brewing, so buckle up because college football's back. Week 5 is here, baby. Let's go.
Let's go.
Welcome to the show. I have got my guy, Zach Callahan from Grind City Brewing here on my right, your left, hanging out with me with this incredible Stein, which we'll get to here in a minute. I got my boy Jared Davidson rocking the maroon here, Hail State, as the Dogs are in a fight with the Vols. Jared, I appreciate you repping, even if it was to get the $5 beer here. I appreciate you repping the shirt today, sir.
Hey, the Mississippi State's still the home state school for me.
Yeah, exactly. Being from South Haven. Yeah, you got to
Mississippi, it'll never be Ole Miss.
I mean, I hear that. So welcome to the show. Thank y'all for being here. Zach, I guess we'll start with you, man. Look at these beautiful steins that we have here. Do you mind telling the good people what's going on with the steins here at Grind City?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have Oktoberfest celebration next weekend, also our 5-year anniversary. It's going to be an absolute blast. It's our biggest party of the year, always my favorite. And a little thing that we do always is we do the steins. So normally we just do the regular run-of-the-mill Stein, $20, $5 fills of poppies or Oktoberfest. First fill's free when you buy it. But this year, because it's our 5-year anniversary, we did something really special, and we got the 5-year anniversary Stein, which is what I'm drinking out of right here. Absolutely gorgeous. Made in Germany, specially ordered for this event, and it's going to be I mean, look at it. It's just absolutely gorgeous. It's got the full wraparound on it here. Heavy. I mean, that's handmade in Germany, like the real deal that you get. And so you can get one of these for $60. A little bit pricey, but I mean, you know, look, it's worth it. And then on top of that, $3 fills until the end of October. Any beer.
I mean, it's
Any
Saturday,
day.
September
So,
27th.
yeah.
That's a hell of a deal.
Yeah. So, I mean, get it for next weekend. Come up here. These are super limited, so they will not be around for long. Those will probably still have around for Oktoberfest, which are really cool too. But these bad boys, like, get them while you can because they will be gone soon. So, I mean, gorgeous Stein, great to drink out of. Cheers, brother.
Yeah. Over here as well. Cheers, man. Yeah, come get your Steins here at Grind City. Watch a little college football. And speaking of college football, we've had quite the day so far. I am going to pivot to my guy over here, Jared Davidson, who is an Arkansas fan, despite him wearing the most beautiful shirt and color in the world. I do not blame you for not wearing the Arkansas red today, Jared. That was a debacle in Fayetteville this morning.
Yeah, we made Jeremiah Love look like he's back. 4 touchdowns, 2 rushing, 2 through the air. Kenny said it before we got on air. You know, I don't like to blame players quitting, but today I think you saw the players finally give up on this Sam Pittman staff. It is abysmal. That was the most embarrassing thing on our home field since we allowed Ole Miss to score 61 on us last year. And that's not saying a lot, but it is saying a lot as well. This team is in the dumpster fire so far down. They're unsavable.
Is it time for Sam Pittman to go?
It's 2 years too late. His best season was a 9-4 year with Chad Morris recruits when they went 9-4.
I mean, you almost feel bad for the guy because he's like, what's his record in 1-score games? Not that today was 1 score.
No, not that it was
anything.
But I think it's now it's like 7-18 now.
That's just wild. Like to have that kind of bad luck. But Zach, today was not about the luck. It was about the luck of the Irish.
Yeah,
dominating the line of scrimmage. Jeremiah Love having 4 touchdowns, as Jared said, 2 on the ground, 2 in the air. The Irish looked like they made a statement today.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they looked phenomenal. I mean, they got after him often and they got after him early. I mean, it was like, I feel like by the time I was watching the Ryder Cup, unfortunately, and then I flipped the game over. And I mean, it was like the game was over before it even started. I mean, I think this is a good Notre Dame team. I think that they're like perfectly fine. I think they're probably ranked properly where they're at. They're going to be ranked in the top 28 to 25 area, but they're not the same Notre Dame team from last year. I mean, they're just not that good. And the fact that, you know, I think like, oh, okay, maybe they're probably going to win this game, but 56-13 is just, I mean, that is just an ass beating if I've ever seen one. And like you said, I mean, Arkansas just gave up. And
they did.
And then it was just, I mean, I think we need to address just absolutely how insane running that fake punt was.
Bro.
That was disrespectful if I've ever seen it. I'm a big Coach Freeman fan, but I was like, oh my word.
They were out for blood at that point.
The first defensive stop they get, and Notre Dame says, it pulls a leak
not so fast.
I mean, and it was like the defense came off and they were like, oh, first stop, second half, maybe we can build a little something. And that took every ounce of momentum that they possibly could have had.
I mean, you just hung 28 in the second quarter, and then you come out and assert dominance like that after the halftime. Like, it's just, they were out for blood. They smelled blood in the water, and they pulled an Oregon on Oklahoma State and just beat Arkansas like an FCS opponent. Like they didn't even belong in the same class.
And to like Freeman and Notre Dame's defenses, now that they've lost those 2 games early, they have to do everything. They needed this score.
Yeah.
Even as bad as Arkansas is against like an SEC opponent, because obviously they have a weaker schedule going forward. They have to win out if they want any chance. And having that point differential against an SEC school is going to help them if they're going to try to make a run for the college football playoff. But I couldn't agree more that it's Pittman's time to go. I mean, in my show that I do for Auburn stuff, when we did our season preview, we said we would be surprised if Pittman was coaching in that game against when Arkansas plays Auburn. And I think that today that kind of locked that in.
And today there was some momentum building. You know, the weird stat about his buyout came out. Right now, since 2021, he is still somehow over 500, which means that buyout is $9.6 million. If he drops down to under 500, it's $6.9 million. But there's been some rumors coming out that by Texas A&M, he will not be the head coach.
I can see that. I mean, again,
when do they have A&M on schedule?
We have a bye week next week, then Tennessee, and then I think it's either Auburn A&M or A&M Auburn. I can't remember which.
So I'm not super locked into Arkansas's football schedule.
Currently, he's 2 games above 500 in his career. He needs 2 more losses, which will very likely happen over the next couple of weeks. Either way, I think we can agree that Sam Pittman is gone.
We'll find a way to lose on the bye week next week.
Very likely, very likely. But we do have a final. So Ohio State and Washington just went final. The second longest active home winning streak in college football is no more. Washington came in on a 22 game winning streak at home, but they weren't facing the little sisters of the poor anymore. Ohio State came to town. It was close early because of the time travel, because of, again, the home field advantage Washington has. But Ohio State goes final 34-6 Buckeyes. They don't necessarily flex in a major way, but they get a good win over a sneaky good Washington team at home. Washington came in at, I think, 2-1 or 3-1 on the year. 3-0.
3-0. Yeah, 3-0. And the spread was what, 8.5? I mean, people were giving Washington a lot here, and I think rightfully so. I mean, they're a good football team, super well coached. That's a tough place to play, like we said, for Ohio State to travel. And obviously Ohio State, always a good program. They beat Texas, but jury was still a little bit out, I think, on Ohio State, because Texas has not looked good, and that was a little bit of a closer game, and their offense struggled in that game. And I think that they came out today and kind of were like, don't worry, like I think they did everything that they needed to do to be like, yeah, we're still Ohio State, we're still fine. I mean, Sayans did everything he needed to do. I mean, he's making the throws he needs to make. He's not going to be a Heisman contender, but Ohio State doesn't need that. They have the playmakers. Their defense is unreal. And, if he can go out there, not turn the ball over, make the throws, get the ball to playmakers. I watched some of that game in the first half before we got up here, and he looked even when it was close, he looked in complete control. And I think that's all that they need out of him.
And he's Sayans a guy who's not going to force his throws, like you kind of mentioned. He's not going to make mistakes. He was 20 of 28 today with 2 touchdowns and only some change over 200 yards. And like you said, they don't need an otherworldly Justin Fields or Cardale Jones to walk through that door this season. They have the best roster, granted the richest roster in college football, but you need a field manager, you need a game manager, a field general who can just get the ball to the playmakers. And that's all Ohio State needs. And going into Washington in a tough place to play.
And you give up 6 points. I mean, it's a defense
early
flex.
Morning game too. Like that's where some of those teams, they fumble or they lose some.
I mean, we
momentum.
saw that today in USC going to Illinois and losing. USC was kicking off body clock time at 9 a.m.
Yeah, 9 a.m.
for it to be 11 a.m. in Champaign. Illinois getting the big win in a big win and a bounce back after getting just absolutely shellacked. That's
a well coached team, there. Because for them to come back that's the type of loss they had to Indiana where you can lose a season in that type of loss.
Absolutely.
I mean, they had all that hype and everything like that, and then just to get absolutely destroyed, you gotta be a little worried if you're a Illinois football fan.
Yeah, Brett Bielema as the head coach, you got to be worried. But
I miss him.
I think Arkansas would take him back in a heartbeat. But those are our three finals, talking about USC, Illinois. We're going to take a quick commercial break. On the other side of the commercial break, we've got games going on right now with LSU, Ole Miss, Tennessee, Mississippi State, and Auburn and Texas A&M. Stick around with us after the commercial break, and we're going to deep dive on those games.
In the heart of the Highland Strip for 27 years, Trilogy Tattoo has helped tell stories for Memphians for generations. Located at 530 South Highland, Richie and his team are waiting to help you tell yours.
From tattoos to piercings, your body art should be as unique as you are. Voted a Memphis Flyer top 3 tattoo shop in the city of Memphis since day one. Your story will be safe here at Trilogy Tattoo.
Open 7 days a week, Monday through Saturday, 11 to 11, and 3 to 11 on Sundays. They have convenient times waiting on you. Let Trilogy Tattoo help you tell your story.
On the theme of things that are unnecessary, I went to my mother's house last night for a stupid gender reveal party in which the cake that I ate had pink icing in it. And we made a huge to-do about it.
Now that's silly.
I just don't understand it.
Gender reveal parties are massively overrated. It's just, it's silly.
Listen, why do I have to have cheer for a team here?
The best part of this story.
She knew the flavor of the baby going into it. She was just revealing to us. A meeting that could have been an email? This was a 45-minute drive to my mama's house to eat leftovers that could have been a text message.
A text message. Absolutely right. Hey, we're having a girl. Thanks. Good talk.
Sweet.
Have a good night.
I've always lobbied my wife to not even find out. Let's have the grand reveal the way the Lord intended. Looking for a private part as soon as the baby comes out. That's what I want to do.
An or an outing when the baby comes out, and then you're done.
Tune into the 2 Buck Sports Show with Rusty Witten and Drew Gann, Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Hey, bro, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Laughing goes, Ja really been making some grown man moves out here lately, man. Starting a firm basically with his family, with consultants of former agents and former player reps and all those type of things. Basically, it's like he's getting professional services for people who know how these contracts work and can do agent type stuff for him. But he's basically paying them for their service and not giving them a cut of his contract. Like you talk about the mega, the super agents and the superstar agents and the mega agents, bro. Y'all made y'all name off the back of dudes who are hooping. Like y'all ain't really doing nothing special, bro. You know what I mean? And I think this is a good thing for the Grizzlies. I think the fact that Ja is doing this without an agent, because an agent's job is to make as much money as he can for himself. And if he's in a situation where he's gonna listen to every team in the world, but with Ja's not out here talking to other teams. He's a player. He's not talking to other teams on his behalf, right? So he knows he's just going to be talking to the Grizzlies.
Tune in to the Anthony Sain Show Monday through Fridays at 1 p.m. live on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Welcome back to Grind City Brewing, your home in Memphis for college football Saturdays. I got my guy Zach Callahan from Grind City Brewing with me, as well as Jared Davidson of the Daily Grind, hanging out here, and we are having a beautiful time again here at Grind City Brewing. As you can see behind us, the lawn is full. We got a ton of people out here playing cornhole, hanging out under the tents. Like, this is the spot. If you have not been to Grind City Brewing yet, why? B, get your tail down here as soon as we can. We've got a great food truck here. It's beautiful weather, best views in Memphis. Zach, I can't hype this place up enough.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's absolutely perfect. We finally have some good weather. It's cooled off a little bit. Nice breeze out here. I mean, I even got the long sleeve shirt on today. You got the little hoodie shirt on.
I'm kind of out of place here being short sleeve.
Yeah, we get it. You want to show off the arms, but you know.
I'm getting hate in the comments because my sleeves are tight. It's like, King Meeks, I go to the gym, bro.
Yeah,
like, come on,
I mean, you know, what can a guy do? But it's beautiful out here. We got some delicious beers. We're having fun. The football, I think, could be going better.
Interception.
Let's
go.
It
is going better.
You're welcome.
Spoken into existence.
Yeah,
let's go. As I run Charlie off in the background.
It actually A&M scored and there was a penalty, and so we're back in this as well.
Boys, we are back, ladies and gentlemen. We are back.
We have live action right now.
So we'll dive into it. We'll start with Mississippi State, Tennessee, give you a chance to breathe.
Oh my God. We almost
as Mississippi State just intercepted a pass. It is 2017 balls. Like, if you had told me that we were going to have 5 penalties for 90 yards in the first half and it was going to be 17-17 at halftime, I would have taken that every day and twice on Sundays. Mississippi State has been playing really well today. We've established the run. Fluff Bothwell has been running the ball like a man possessed, getting downhill and running it through the A gap. Like, that's been the best part. Is we've had such success up the middle. We've established the run. We just got the ball back. Joey Aguilar makes a terrible decision.
That was awful.
And right through his receiver's hands, picked off, nice return. We get the ball in plus territory. Mississippi State has an opportunity to take the lead here with a touchdown.
And Ole Miss has second and goal from the 6.
Second to go from the 6 in Oxford. Zach, what have you seen so far in the Tennessee-Mississippi State game? I know you've been locked into yours.
So look, I'm in a weird position here because obviously I'm locked in on the Auburn A&M game. We just real quick held A&M to a field goal, so it is a 6-point game. Auburn's getting the ball back, 2:41 with a chance to win. Offense has been absolutely disgusting, so we'll get to that in a minute. But as far as the Mississippi State Tennessee game goes,
big first down.
Here's my thing. I came into this game being very much wondering in different ways where these two teams were at. So it's like, obviously, State, huge win against Arizona State, but wanted to see them against an SEC team, wanted to see how they could, play in this environment. Obviously, they're at home again. How's all of that going to show up? As far as Tennessee goes, looked great against Georgia, ended up losing that game. State. All right.
Down to 5.
Well, speaking of Mississippi schools, real quick, Ole Miss just scored to go up by 11 again.
I mean, this is like the witching hour right now. Everything it's going nuts right now. But so I was very curious about both these teams. I thought this was going to be a close game. Obviously, it's been a close game so far. But I think even no matter what happens in the rest of this game, I think we're seeing a different Mississippi State program.
Absolutely.
Like they just look completely different on the field. And so
touchdown, baby. Touchdown.
Well,
put it on the board. Let's go.
No flags, no laundry.
Nothing.
Where's the
touchdown, baby? Come on. Yes, sir. Mississippi State just takes the lead, 23-20, extra point pending. to your point, it has been a much different Mississippi State team this year. We didn't have a pulse since Mike Leach died. And I was talking with somebody today. I was at Wiffle Stock earlier today playing some wiffle ball, enjoying some sunshine. And this guy was trying to give me flack about Mississippi State rushing the field against Arizona State. It's not that it was Arizona
his
State.
elbow may have been down before.
That's fine. If it is, it's down at the 6-inch mark. But it's not the fact that we beat Arizona State that we rushed the field. That was the first win of any significance since Mike Leach died in December of 2022. And so you rush the field when you do something.
That guy can kick rocks because first of all, oh my God,
you just beat a playoff team.
Imagine people having fun.
That's
my
man.
God.
He was a Tennessee fan, so there is that to all you Vols fans out there.
Yeah, he's a little.
Clearly, he's a lower tier.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but that's insane. I'm always pro rushing the field. I think it's fun. I mean, I think Illinois rushed the field today against USC, and I was one's a little, but
that one's
still
a little shaky.
It's still a little shaky, but I'm but I mean, speaking of, we have to address maybe the greatest rushing of the field of all time.
Virginia.
Last
so
night
good.
we hadn't talked about that.
That was unreal. I mean, a little
RIP to Squirrel White, who was down in the
potentially
corner.
dangerous.
Yeah.
That man might have lost his life, but
Yeah.
that was one of the. It was instant, and that is just electric.
And that's the only place you're going to get away with that is in the ACC, because could you
100%.
imagine letting the students at Auburn, at Mississippi State, at Georgia
have access to the field.
access to the field before the game is over? Somebody would have died.
Oh, yeah.
It would have been an absolute murder.
Could you imagine 100,000 in Neyland doing that if they were 4 and
someone would
10?
die?
Absolutely. Yeah. But you had that one, and then today in the Wake Forest Georgia Tech game, Wake Forest was ready to rush the field. They were on the back of the end zone, only to have snatched from the jaws of victory and not get to rush the field. It's I'm gonna just rush it anyway. Why not?
I mean,
you're already there.
Yeah.
That was awful.
But yeah, Mississippi State all the way back, circling all the way back. Mississippi State is not you can circle it as a win, Jared Davidson, as you had for Arkansas in the offseason. I'm going to bring that up now.
Yeah, you have every right to bring it up because you tooted your own horn and everyone called you a homer for it. You called your shot.
I said 6-6, and 6-6.
You're 6-6 is about to be blown out of the water.
I mean, 6-6 is well within reach. You don't get to 6-6 without beating Arizona State. You beat Tennessee today. Obviously, you're in a touchdown. There it is. That time they did call him down just outside the goal line. Mississippi State does finally score to go ahead, but you don't get to 6-6 without beating Arizona State. And if you beat Tennessee, 7-5 is not outside the realm of possibility, but 6-6, I'm still I'm comfortable at 6-6 for Mississippi State.
I mean, if you beat Tennessee, you're looking at more than 7-5. Who else is on y'all schedule? Do y'all have Bama this year?
No, our schedule is a gauntlet because we still have Georgia, we have Texas, we have A&M, we have Florida, Arkansas. Still ahead. We've got Ole Miss at the end of the season, obviously. So we got Missouri right before Ole Miss. We still have a gauntlet to run through. So again, if we get to 6-6, Jeff Levy should be the first coach in SEC history to win Coach of the Year by going 6-6.
Yes,
because of that gauntlet of a schedule.
I mean, okay, here's the thing: if you beat Tennessee today, if you hold on, you're up by 3 right now. Still have a whole another quarter to play. You beat them. You have A&M next week at A&M. That game can be won.
So the road team
Florida,
has
Texas.
the advantage in that game.
Yes.
So typically the road team wins in the Mississippi State A&M rivalry. And I called it that because that's what it is. Agricultural schools, it is a rivalry for us. That was the last ranked SEC win we had in 2018. We beat a ranked Jimbo Fisher-led A&M team.
Ooh.
So we can win that game. Then you beat Florida, and you've got 6 wins. Or 7 wins at that point.
Yeah. Well, and even with Texas too, with how bad their offense has been against quality competition, Rusty. I'm not gonna keep elevating it real quick.
Yeah.
If you beat Texas, you're going into Georgia, Missouri. You win one of those 2. You probably lose to Georgia, but if you beat Missouri, you beat Ole Miss. Rusty, I'm not gonna get ahead of myself.
That sounds like 9 wins.
It sounds like 10 or 11 almost. This Mississippi State team is so much vastly improved. I know you're maybe. They're much improved through the early part of the year. If you would have told me that they are hanging with Tennessee, beating Tennessee, about to go into the fourth quarter, I would have called you crazy.
I don't know. This tall, dark, handsome fella on the 2 Buck Sports Show, not the short one, but the other one, told you in the offseason that Mississippi State was going to be better.
I don't think either of you are.
They're definitely better.
Yeah.
A lot of football left in this game. Let's not get too far.
I'm not.
No, I'm not going too far.
And we were competitive with Texas last year, but we are, again, the fact that we've won 4 games this year is all we're playing with house money.
I don't know what the final record is going to be, but all I would say is I don't want to play Mississippi State.
No.
And they're the type of team that I think their record could end up being really weird, but it also could be also if you go back and look at who they beat and who they lost to, they could go out and win every single week. They're especially at home right now. I mean, they look like a tough team to play.
They may finish 8-4, but they will play heartbreaker.
All I'm saying
definitely, I agree with that.
All of y'all owe me an apology from the offseason. But Right now at Kyle Field in College Station, we have a war going on with A&M Auburn. Zach, give us an update of what's going on over there.
Yeah, so it is 16-10. We have 2 minutes left. A&M has the ball. Auburn just had to punt it back to them. Auburn's offense has been, it's been one of the grossest things I've ever seen in my life today. In the second half, we didn't do much. I'm kind of in and out here as we're on the show, but I saw a stat after the pick that we had. It was a 73-yard return on the pick. We had 71 yards of offense in the second half so far. So that just kind of shows like how bad it's been. I think in the first half, we actually had a little bit of momentum going on a couple of drives, and then every single time it was false start, penalty, holding. Penalties at the discipline has been atrocious. It was bad last week. Obviously, there was other factors in that Oklahoma game that we don't have to get into. We've moved on from that. But
looking at you, SEC.
It was, that's just atrocious. And Oklahoma fans have gone to the bottom tier for me because we did a thing on our show where we talked about just like how the SEC has an officiating problem, not just that game. Obviously, it's an Auburn podcast. We're talking about Auburn. Yeah. We're Auburn fans. The amount of Oklahoma fans that were, they were saying things I couldn't believe. I was like, I've dealt with some fan groups before, but these people are but it's because they know they probably should have lost that game, and they were so defensive about it.
When the league comes out and said we screwed up, they screwed up.
I got into a legitimate argument with a man, which I don't like to normally do, but I got into an argument with a man because he was like, the SEC only apologized because of how much Auburn cried, and I was like,
oh my God.
And then he started saying because of how much like we were crying. I was like, but if you think the SEC knows I exist, you're out of your mind. Crazy. I was like, Greg Sankey doesn't know who I am. I promise you,
our podcast is good, but it ain't that
good, brother. I appreciate the compliment. But you have lost your mind, all right? And so, but going back to this game right now, because I could go on and on about that Oklahoma game. But the offense has been terrible. We had some good momentum early on. Every single time it was stifled by penalties. I think the offensive play calling has been pretty bad today. A&M has a bad rushing defense so far this season, and we're just like, hey, Jackson Arnold, why don't you drop back 45 times? It's like, we're not going to win football games like that.
Brother.
And so the offense has been stagnant. So even if we get the ball back here with, a minute left, I just don't see a world where we're going to score. And so, unfortunately, I think we're going to end up probably losing.
And this is what concerned me about Arkansas in the preseason. Like, you were going to be better this year, but I didn't know if it was enough to get over the hump in some of these games. Yes, you got hosed last week with officiating, didn't get the win. This week it feels like you get right up to the altar, but you can't quite get over the hump. It feels like you could get it, like you said, couple drives together and then it falls apart. First half, things were clicking. Second half, it's kind of falling apart. And I'm afraid that's going to be Auburn's kind of MO for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I mean, 2 really tough road tests. Like, I think last week I took a lot away from that game with our offense. I think our defense is like, at this point, you can't question it. They're legitimately,
especially up front.
Yeah. And the secondary after the first couple weeks has really, really, really improved. And even if anything happens late here in the game, they've made so many big stops that like, if they get gas, they get gas. That's what happened in like the Oklahoma game at the end. There was like they couldn't make a stop on that last drive because they were gassed. They had stepped up to Mateer so many times. But I think our defense is legit. I think it's going to keep us in games. I think when we get back to Jordan Hare, maybe we can get the offense clicking a little bit more. The biggest problem, if it's not for the false starts, we're maybe scoring some points. Yeah. But the false starts have absolutely destroyed us. I think if we get home, there's some chance. But I said going into this game, like, if we find a way to win this game, my expectations for Auburn season are still like there's potential for maybe like a little playoff run on that outside. If we lose this game, I think that's over with. And I think it's kind of like, look, we were terrible last year. Like, we have all the talent in the world. Let's go split the Georgia, Bama. Let's go beat the teams we should beat, and let's just get some momentum.
You get both of them at home.
Yeah.
You get an opportunity. Auburn magic happens, especially against Georgia, just for whatever reason. That's
that game is the first time it'll be a night game for the South's oldest rivalry in like 20 years.
Yep. And it's off of a bye. Tennessee just scored. Tennessee just took the lead back 26-24 in a long pass play. As Charlie runs back in to watch it. Yeah, 26-24. But there's a flag. There's a flag. There's a flag. It's coming back. Balls didn't get the score.
And while this flag's being sorted out, I 100% believe in the phrase defense wins championships, but a defense can only carry you so far before the offense absolutely has to do something. And that's what Auburn's problem has been, not just this year. It's been that way the past few years as well.
Yeah. 100%. I mean, I think last year, obviously, the biggest thing was just, as we talked about before we got on air, is just, I mean, Peyton Thorne had no business being a quarterback. But and his interceptions are what killed us last year.
Yep.
Right now.
Well, you look at that stretch in the Arkansas game last year where it was like 4 straight interceptions between each team.
Yeah. It was terrible. And
pass interference on Tennessee, 15-yard penalty.
Push off.
So the big push off right there.
Yep.
Massive push off.
Oh, that's a little cheeky.
Okay,
it was a questionable.
It wasn't a massive push off, but the contact will
probably the right call.
Yes.
Massive was an exaggeration. We'll call it even.
Listen, when he laid his hands on him, it looked like it's going to be worse than what it was.
That's fair.
I'm talking
That's
with
fair.
you buffoons and not watching fully. So
I
but we call that back. So yes, Auburn has a much needed bye week next week before they host the Georgia Bulldogs.
Yeah,
never know what's going to happen in that game.
And look, we got 2 minutes left here. It's 4th and 11. Auburn's about to get the ball left. 2 minutes.
Things can happen.
Maybe
Auburn magic happens.
We have the playmakers. But
Auburn Jesus is real.
Yeah, 100%. And the biggest problem with Auburn's offense right now is, I think Arnold needs to be more aggressive. He needs to roll out. He needs to be like willing to throw an interception, willing to throw the ball in tight spaces, willing to make plays. He's playing too conservative after everything that happened last year and all the turnovers he had at Oklahoma. And I think probably the coaching staff going into the season, because of all the interceptions that Thorne threw, they preached early on to take care of the football. You have to take care of football, but you also aren't going to win football games if you're not taking chances.
Yep.
And you can't go back now and establish the run and do all that stuff, but we have to be better about running the football early. This team, when we beat Baylor on the road and looked the best we've looked all year, was because we were running the football.
Yep.
And we have to get back to that. I don't know why Hughes abandoned it. And now it's just like, look, I mean,
we have a saying here in the South: run the damn ball.
Run the damn ball.
And that's what you do.
That's Auburn football, and we have to get back to it. But I mean, we'll see what happens here at the end of this game. But I still think, like, if we could I'll still be happy with the season if we can split the Georgia, Alabama, and then win the games we're supposed to win. Maybe, against Missouri at home, we catch a win there, and just improve on last year and everything like that. I have enough faith in the direction we're going, but I'm in such a pickle with this Hugh Freeze problem, because the recruiting and the team he's putting together, I love so much. I love the things he says.
That's how Hugh Freeze gets you in.
Right.
It is.
It's like a bad ex-girlfriend. Like, it's like, but then he's so,
I can fix her.
Yes. And he's so bad though in these late game scenarios and all, like, he drives me crazy. So I don't know. I mean, we'll see. It's 4th and 1 right here. This is the ball game.
Hey, this is Kenny, the producer. Can we stop talking about Auburn and talk about a real football team? Memphis just kicked off against Florida Atlantic.
Okay. Memphis did just kick off.
The mic of
absolutely.
Arkansas here.
And I mean, you got to, because Arkansas is little brother along the Mississippi, the banks of the Mississippi.
Arkansas is not even little brother. It's
speaking of little brother, Ole Miss is playing LSU.
Auburn just lost.
We're going to final in Kyle Field. 50 seconds to go with the turnover.
You wouldn't know. You wouldn't believe it. 4th and 1.
No.
Jackson Arnold gets sacked.
How about that?
No.
I mean, it's not his fault. I mean, it was instant pressure. They had, first of all, the play call was absolutely, it's 4th and maybe 1.
Yeah.
And they just instantly, I mean, there's a flag. There is a flag.
Little flag. But speaking of little brother, we will transition and talk about Mississippi State, or Ole Miss and LSU. Little brother is up 24-13 currently. LSU has the ball.
It's 3rd and 1, and
just got the first down.
Stuffed.
This is a game. Oh, he got stuffed. This is a game of two teams that I don't really know what to make of them. Ole Miss has looked really good against inferior competition, being Kentucky, Arkansas, Georgia State. LSU flexed on Clemson, but again, Clemson looked bad again in their off week today by Georgia Tech struggling, Syracuse getting the work from Duke. And so we don't really know anything about either of these teams. They have, coming in the season, everybody knew that Garrett Nussmeier was going to be the quarterback in the SEC. And I know he's not healthy, Jared, but he is like, that offense has sputtered, and that's being nice about it.
It has, and today, like just in the past, this entire 4th quarter, there's been miscue after miscue, drop passes, overthrown balls from Nussmeier, and you can't even blame those on injuries. And it's 4th and 1. LSU has the offense on the field, down by 11. They could kick a field goal. They just took a timeout. They could kick a field goal, make this an 8-point game, instead of, potentially losing the game right here on this 4th and 1. But Garrett Nussmeier, he hasn't looked confident with the ball. Yes, like you mentioned, injuries and whatnot. But something is just going on mentally, I feel like. Yes, the injuries hindering him and whatnot.
They don't have a running game.
They don't. They're running. They have
They've had 20 carries for 42 yards today, and yet again,
it's
LSU
one of the worst
has not
running.
been able to run the ball.
It's one of the worst running offenses against one of the worst rushing defenses. But here's the thing: defense will more than likely take over a bad offense, and that's what the Ole Miss defense has done today.
Mm-hmm.
They have stepped up big time today. I will go ahead and also say, on another side note, I've started to like Trinidad Chambliss more than Austin Simmons.
100%. They don't have a quarterback controversy.
No, they don't. It's Trinidad Chambliss.
It's Trinidad Chambliss.
Yeah. There is a reason he was one of the best D2 quarterbacks ever last year at Ferris State, and this year he's proven it that he can be not maybe the same level of being the best quarterback at the Division I level, but he's proven he can be serviceable and a threat here at the SEC level.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean that was one of the you guys both must have been reading my notepad before this because
Ole Miss has got a flag on the play.
Oh,
Ole Miss had a 4th and 1 stop, but a flag is thrown.
It looks like it might have.
I'm half watching. What is it?
It looks like it might have been on.
If
LSU.
this is on LSU, then this is.
I think it's on LSU.
Ball game.
False start on LSU. Kick the field goal. Go down by 8. Your defense is good.
Yeah. Anyways, we'll see. But yeah, I mean, the two things that I wrote down was I don't know what to think about either of these teams, and Ole Miss offense is rolling now. Like they're rolling. They look better, and Nussmeier and the offense are just so underwhelming. It's bad.
They finally figured out defense after 2 years of abysmal defensive play, and they can't get any kind of a pulse on offense with what was supposed to be one of the best quarterbacks in the SEC and Garrett Nussmeier.
They're going to go for it on 4th and 6.
It's because they don't have. I mean, they don't have a choice. The field goal does nothing for you here.
You get you within one score to extend the game.
But with 4 minutes to go, like you have got to go get a touchdown.
6 minutes. We got 6 minutes.
6 minutes.
They got it.
First down. LSU inside the 20. LSU's got the ball in the red zone. LSU is still driving. We will keep you abreast of that, but we do have some more big games coming up. And no, I'm not talking about the mid-off that's going to be in Columbia, though. We're going to talk about it briefly and pick it after this commercial break. We're going to preview some of the upcoming games, and then we'll pick at the end of the show. Y'all stay with us after the commercial break. We're talking about Oregon and Penn State and Alabama and Georgia.
In the heart of the Highland Strip for 27 years, Trilogy Tattoo has helped tell stories for Memphians for generations. Located at 530 South Highland, Richie and his team are waiting to help you tell yours.
From tattoos to piercings, your body art should be as unique as you are. Voted a Memphis Flyer top 3 tattoo shop in the city of Memphis since day one. Your story will be safe here at Trilogy Tattoo.
Open 7 days a week, Monday through Saturday, 11 to 11, and 3 to 11 on Sundays. They have convenient times waiting on you. Let Trilogy Tattoo help you tell your story.
I guess really the only question is like, are we basing Wembanyama based on potential or what he's already done or is doing? Because I'm going to preface this by saying I think he is insanely good at the profession he does and deserves to be high in the rankings. He's I'm not diminishing that fact at all. But top 5 already when he's now granted he's played great when he's been on the court, but he's missed so much time, and that's where I'm like, are we basing it off potential or what has already been done?
I thought Wemby was a little high, but if the NBA just decided to reshuffle the deck that is NBA rosters and pull everybody and just have a draft lottery, every team has no players, Wemby would be taking number 1, and it wouldn't even really. They would probably run the pick in.
Tune in to The Daily Grind with your host, Luke Hatmaker, every Monday through Friday at 7:30 a.m. live on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
I just want to say off top, every time a win like that happens at that place, it just feels like this momentous occasion for the city. Yeah. And like with most universities, it's not like that. If Wisconsin gets a big signature win, it's not like, oh, what a day for Madison. Alabama wins, what a day for Tuscaloosa. But the way that our university is set up and the fan base is set up, it always feels just like this massive occasion for Memphis. It just felt like a celebration of Memphis like we haven't seen in a long time in that stadium.
It does. You do feel like you're jinxing it, and you don't want to speak too early. And it's 4 games into the season, so we can't get carried away. But any season that turns out to be, one for the record books or ends up being special and one that people talk about forever, much like that 2019 season, like games like this have to happen for it to be that season.
Tune in to On the Bluff with Christian Fowler and Gabe Kuhn every Tuesday at 10 a.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Welcome back to College Football Saturdays at Grind City Brewing. We could not ask for a more beautiful evening. Sun's going down, heat's going down. We've got a lot of people here milling about, as you can see behind us here, hanging out on the lawn. Memphis just scored, apparently. Arkansas's father, Braylon Lewis, just scored a touchdown.
That was
and
LSU just had an awful 2-point conversion play call.
LSU is now down 24-19 in the game that's going to come down to the wire in Oxford. They got to get a turnover here, although Trinidad Chambliss has looked the part today of an SEC quarterback. But we do still have 2 more big games we haven't even got to yet. And we will start with a Big Ten rivalry. They're trying to convince me that this is a rivalry where Dante Moore, Dan Lanning, who is one of my favorite coaches in all of college football. Like, every time that he does a hype video, I'm like, if I had a son, you're playing for Dan Lanning. But Oregon travels to Happy Valley for one of the biggest traditions in all of college football, and that is James Franklin shitting the bed against top 10 teams. I'm sorry, wideouts in Happy Valley. And so tonight we get a wideout in Happy Valley. Penn State does wideouts very well. The problem is the product on the field doesn't exactly match. And so, Zach, what are you looking for tonight in that Oregon-Penn State matchup to try and can Penn State get over the hump?
Yeah, I mean, you just asked the exact question that I was going to start off with, which is just James Franklin. Obviously, I don't have to tell you guys, we all know how bad that he's been in these big games. I mean, it's just he can't win the big one. That's just what his reputation has become, and that is pretty much what I want to find out. I went into the season being like a big Drew Allard guy, kind of like I liked him. I watched a lot of.
Oh no! Scooping.
Do we have a live?
No.
They called him down though, I think. Nope, they didn't.
Breaking news.
26-24 Tennessee. I'm sure they'll take a look at it, but it looks like a fumble by Blake Shapen on a sack where a Tennessee edge rusher came in untouched, hit Blake Shapen. He fumbled the ball, scoop and score for Tennessee to take the lead 26-24, 13.5 to go in the fourth quarter.
All right. Well,
oof,
man.
Back to Oregon and Penn State, I guess, for now, right? I'm sorry, buddy. We'll work it out. We'll work it out.
Hey, you've already hit your over 3.5 win bet.
Yeah. But I want to win this game, man. I hate Tennessee with a fiery passion. Sorry, Charlie, but I hate Tennessee.
No, I understand. In the heat of the moment, last segment, I was all torn up about the Auburn Tigers. But if we're looking at this Oregon and Penn State game, I mean, I went into the season thinking that they were going to be pretty good. I have not been impressed with them so far this season, which does not give me confidence going into this game. And I've been very impressed with Oregon. I think you said about Dan Lanning, like that's a guy that I just trust his teams will show up in big games. Yeah. Like I don't have any question about that. I think the environment's going to be rocking. I think the big thing for me is we're either going to learn that Penn State is like legit of some kind, and they're going to be in there with Ohio State and still Oregon, no matter what. I think both these teams are going to be in the conversation at the end of the year. We have a lot of that going on. I think I'm calling a bit of a shot here. Dante Moore, big game, Heisman conversation. I think that's what we're getting tonight.
Yeah, I can see that.
On the road, I'm seeing a big game. I'm seeing him balling out. I'm not saying that's my official prediction, but I'm saying this is a storyline I can see developing from this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is that he goes out there and has a huge game and is in that conversation.
And one of the best ways to beat Penn State at this whiteout is you have to nail that first 10 minutes of the game, like not even the entire first quarter. If you can get a good offensive flow, if you're Oregon, in that first 10 minutes of the ball game, that first drive, if you can go down and score, you're going to shut up 100,000 people who are invested in a whiteout game and think they can win a big game. Now, here's the thing. What plagued Penn State in this Big Ten championship game last year against Oregon, you had talent to compete one-on-one, but you couldn't force Oregon into pressure situations by getting pressure on the quarterback last year against Oregon. Wasn't Bo Nix because that was 2 years ago. Anyways, Penn State has to get pressure on early. And if Penn State cannot do that, they are going to lose their one-on-one matchups.
And they can, because Oregon has 3 new starters on the offensive line that's been completely rebuilt, but they've only given up 1 sack in 4 games. Dante Moore is completing 75% of his passes, averaging over 10 yards per completion. But the biggest story has been their running back room. They have 3 running backs. One of them is averaging 6.7. Lamar Hill is averaging 11.8 yards per carry, and Noah Winningham is 11.4 yards per carry. Oregon is getting after it in the run game, and that's going to be big on the road at Penn State with a quarterback who struggles like Drew Allar, who's just not been up to what you thought he was going to be. He has struggled this year.
Yeah, he has everything there. Before we had the big play in this game, what I was going to say is, obviously being a Colts fan, I was watching all this Tyler Warren stuff when we drafted him. And like, I mean, obviously you're watching highlights and stuff like that, but like I was big, kind of like Allard, the guy. And then I went back, especially like today doing stuff for this, and was looking at his stats against ranked teams. And he's just he feasts on the teams he should feast against. And in big games, he is just not even like, he's been bad.
Yeah.
Like
not
actively
even like,
bad.
but been
bad. Like, and so I just, but this is also a little bit of one of those things where I feel like everybody's on Oregon and everyone's out on Penn State and everything like that. And it's a tough environment. And it could be a little bit like Ohio State, Oregon last year, where it's going to be one of these like super close games, and we'll get into picks later. But like I think they nailed the spread, because I think it's going to be a field goal game.
Oh, yeah,
and so I think it's going to be super close because of the environment and everything like that. And so it could be one of those games where all of a sudden Penn State comes out, they sneak out a win, and all of a sudden we're like, well, both these teams are pretty good.
I think if this game is close in the fourth quarter, a 1-score game, even less than that, maybe like 5 points going into the last 4 minutes when you get into crunch time, that's going to be Penn State's best shot.
Yeah, it has to be. But Penn State does have an elite pass rush. They've got 9 sacks in 3 games so far. They're getting after the quarterback, which helps when your quarterback's not playing super well. The biggest thing is they're not stretching the field. Allar's averaging just over 6 yards per completion,
which is shocking because they spent so much bringing in receivers, because that was their problem last year.
So
and it doesn't seem like it's clicking.
What a lot of Penn State fans have been saying is that it's just a sign of the competition. They're not opening up the playbook. But if that's the case, tonight's when you got to open it up, and good luck opening up 5 weeks into the season where you're going to open up the playbook and try and stretch the field against a good Oregon defense.
The only advantage they do have to trying to open up in week 5 is that the fact that they've had 2 weeks to prepare for this ball game.
Sure.
Yes. Yeah. But I mean, all I heard after, Ball State and Auburn played Ball State and they played South Alabama, because we weren't airing the ball out, was, well, they're saving it for Oklahoma. Well, we just can't pass the ball right now because we can't keep anybody.
Big play.
Big play
for Mississippi State. Huge gain. Huge gain. We're now in plus territory, about a 40-yard pass. Blake Shapen down the right hash mark.
He got the moves on him there.
Listen,
he's shaking
man,
that
he
ass.
stood in the pocket and in front of a massive Tennessee rush, stood in the pocket, made a strong throw downfield.
Yeah.
Let's freaking go.
He's a dog, dude. He's a
dog. He's pocket sized, but a dog. Mississippi State is knocking on the door. 1st and 10 at the Tennessee 25, heading downfield.
He's calm in the pocket.
He's got poise, and that's what Drew Allar has been lacking. Like, you would think in a 3rd-year quarterback like him, like this is Blake Shapen's 2nd year in this system. He's showing that right now with the poise and the moxie of an experienced quarterback that knows his system. That's what you expect out of a Drew Allar, but he hasn't done that.
That's the same thing we've talked about with Klubnik and Clemson. Like, those are 2 guys who have all the talent in the world, and everyone's just marked off as elite quarterbacks. And they just have not developed year from year. And it's really that 1st to 2nd year. If you don't see it then, I'm starting to be convinced you're just not going to see it.
And kind of going to the point of not seeing it then and not seeing it now. If you play these teams, you play these FCS lower level G5 opponents early in the year, and you do not open up the playbook, and everyone's like, oh yeah, we're saving it, for the likes of an Oregon or for the likes of an Alabama. If you don't open up that playbook early, you're not going to be prepared to open it up in week 5, as Rusty mentioned. Everyone's going to know what you do by that point. And then if you try to open it up, teams are still going to be ready for it. So why not get ready for it in a game setting? It's just, I don't like that mentality of, we're saving the passing game for later on for the likes of a Texas A&M.
You should go out every week and want to beat the brakes out of everybody.
I mean, that's it. You want to flex. You want to show what you got. You want your kids hitting big plays down the field. You want to get some momentum heading into Oregon, because if you don't open the playbook, you come in with vanilla playbook.
Also, if your playbook is not deep enough to have a couple tricks up your sleeve, then you're not going to win anyways, because you have to you should be able to air out the ball and still have something else in the tank.
Well, you look at Andy Reid and Sean Payton's playbooks in the NFL level. Their laminated sheet that they have on the sideline is bigger than like 3 lengths of sheets of paper.
Yeah, it's
if you don't have a deep enough playbook, then you're in deep trouble already as a Power 5
It's
school.
not the Waffle House menu that we saw Taylor Jenkins bring out for the Memphis Grizzlies, but that's another conversation for another day.
It ain't basketball season quite yet.
We do have Mississippi State is lining up for a field goal.
Game
It's a
time.
39-yard field goal right down
right down the
Main
middle.
Street. We got a tie ball game in Starkville.
Oh, boy.
Right,
27-27. 10.5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. State and Tennessee are tied up, baby. Do not miss this game in Starkville. It is going to go down to the wire. And
I think
speaking
you
of
can hear
going
those
down to the
cowbells
wire,
2.5 hours up here.
absolutely. Tennessee's going to be hearing cowbells in their sleep for the next 6 months. Speaking of going to the wire, we have got another big tilt tonight in the SEC when Alabama and Georgia face off, where they've hit the over in their last 8 games. It's a massive, massive game tonight. Alabama is 3-1 in their last 4 against Georgia, 3-1 against the spread as well. And Kalen DeBoer beat the Georgia Bulldogs last year, 41-34. On the back of basically Ryan Williams last year.
Yep.
We had a massive game.
Do you know he was 17 last year?
Did you? I did not.
He was 17.
Oh my
Wow.
god.
That.
Yeah.
Does that make him 18 this year?
I think I'm not good.
Or is he still 17
guy?
then?
I'm not a math guy, but I
Yeah.
think so.
But so far this year, Georgia is 0-3 against the spread. They have a massive opportunity tonight as the Tide come to town. And as much as Tennessee has a Georgia problem, Kirby Smart has an Alabama problem and cannot figure out how to beat the Tide. Zach, I'm going to lob it up to you first. What does Georgia need to do tonight to get the win against Alabama?
Yeah, I mean, I think I've been really impressed. So my biggest question going into this season with Georgia was the Gunnar Stockton question.
Yep.
And I have been very impressed with him. And I think that really came to fruition during that Tennessee game.
Yeah.
And he made some big time throws.
Downfield throws.
Downfield throws. And Georgia seems to have this formula of these like all-American, good old boy quarterbacks that have no real personality, no flair. They're not doing anything, but they can step up and make the throws when they need to make them. Obviously, everything with Carson.
Oh, score update. Florida
oh.
Atlantic is tying the ball game. Rushing touchdown for Florida Atlantic against Memphis. Oh,
They called it back.
They called it back. Okay. ESPN is a little bit behind. They call back. My apologies for interrupting you there.
No.
Continue.
I mean, if we're not locked in on the Memphis, Florida Atlantic game, what are we doing?
What are we doing?
Yeah. But no, I mean, I think that like Stockton has been like, I think it's the same thing I was saying with Ohio State. Like, he can make the right throws. He can make the right plays. Georgia's defense is going to be Georgia's defense.
Yeah.
We know what they are. For me, it is what is actually this Alabama team, because I think it's more of an Alabama question than it is a Georgia question.
Yeah.
I think we kind of know what Georgia is. Like, they're good. If they can put some more pieces together, maybe they can really compete for a national championship, but they're going to be in the conversation. They're going to be a playoff team.
Yeah.
Alabama, they convince. I mean, obviously, being an Auburn fan, I hear a lot from Alabama fans, and they have convinced themselves that, Gus Malzahn just spent all off season putting together the perfect game plan. Florida State loss was just a fluke. Ty Simpson is the truth. They beat up on some bad teams. I mean, Wisconsin, they're talking about that game like it means something. Wisconsin, I mean, they're just embarrassing.
Yeah.
And that sucks because they're a good football program, and I hope they return back like your Bulldogs are right now, getting back to like competitive games. But right now, Wisconsin is terrible.
Yeah.
Luke Fickell has lost that program, and they just they need a reset.
Absolutely.
And so I think Ty Simpson has looked very good. I think he has high potential. I think he'd go out there and ball today and like prove that he is like legit and can take Alabama far. But I just don't know what this Alabama team actually is. Do you guys know? I mean,
I don't really know what they are, and
to be fair, like Jared's got a rooted interest in Ty Simpson because
That's
he
fine.
is from Martin. Tell us why Ty can be the guy.
He can be the guy. His decision making has looked so much better. He's looked a lot more confident since that Florida State game. I don't think Alabama has necessarily an offensive problem. I think it's more of along the lines of a defense. You look at every major stat category, offense or defense in the entire country, Bama's top half in every single one, except for one where they are bottom 15, and it is third down defense. This Alabama team cannot get off the field on third downs, and it extends drives. It puts the offense in kind of bad spots. I will say that offense still has room to improve, but Ty has looked confident since Florida State. Now, granted, he's played UL Monroe and Wisconsin and whatnot. They've had a bye week as well. But I think this defense is going to have to find a way. They can get to third down easy.
Yeah.
You have to find a way to get out of these third and short situations. And yes, that goes back to winning on these, first and second down plays to make it third and long. Win on first and second down, prevent 3rd and 3, 3rd and 2. You have to win.
One of the biggest things that I've noticed this year with both of these teams, like Alabama and Georgia have always had that dude, right? They've had the Nolan Smiths, they've had the Jonathan Allens, the Ashawn Robinsons, right?
Yep.
They've had these defensive dudes. I don't know who that dude is.
I don't think I think you're about to like something that's about to happen.
Yeah,
we got the game.
I hear
on it,
yelling.
Right? You might like something right there. You might like something. You might like something.
Let's go!
Oh, did he go back? That's a touchdown saving tackle.
So just to be clear,
let's go!
Here at Grind City right now, we have a huge Mississippi State crowd inside, and that is on a little bit ahead of us. And we just heard an absolute eruption inside.
Let's go!
And I knew something was coming from that.
Yes.
And it's all Mississippi State fans in there right
Hang on
now.
real quick. It's 4th and 3. Ole Miss is going for it, trying to keep this. Oh, wide open pass. Ole Miss may have just iced this ball game.
It looks like they did as he drops down.
Ole Miss is going to get a
Mississippi State
rank.
has the ball back with 9:43 left in the fourth quarter. Mississippi State with a massive turnover at midfield. We got the
That's
ball
still
in
a bad
plus
ball.
territory.
That's not a good ball
bad
at all.
That's not a good
decision
ball
by
at
Joe
all.
Aguilar.
It was
Throws
high.
High and behind his receiver. Gets batted up in the air.
He's looked
Zakari Tillman with the pick, baby. Let's
Aguilar's looked
freaking go.
bad. We just want
I
to talk a
told
little
y'all.
bit, but he looked.
It's the first road test.
Yeah, and like he looked
Yeah.
really good in that Georgia game, and so I thought, okay, that's an elite defense. He's like the
But
real deal,
It's
but he has looked lost.
and
today
all
at
I
times.
heard, and
At
all
times.
I heard from Tennessee fans to begin this year too in the offseason is, oh yeah, we didn't need Nico. Now, granted, you didn't need Nico.
Sure. He's
Joey
been
Aguilar's
awful.
Nico's been terrible.
Yeah.
But Joey Aguilar's the truth. He's the next Heisman candidate out of Tennessee. Here we're getting that first true road test. Now, granted, they're going Mississippi State. They treated it huge. They went wide out. The MSU logo's back.
This is the
State
biggest game we've had in Starkville in a long
Oh yeah,
time.
100%. I 100% agree with you
we've
on that
lost
one.
12
since 2 weeks ago.
Well, no, this is 12. Yeah. We've lost 12 consecutive SEC games. And so this is an opportunity to get a monkey off our back that we've been carrying for a long
And not
long
just
time.
an SEC game. We're talking about a ranked
top 15
good
win.
team.
A top
Like, this
15
is-
win.
yeah,
Tennessee
yeah.
will be a good team at the end of the year. This
Yeah,
will be top
100%.
This will
They're
be
a good
two
team.
top 15 wins. Arizona State's not ranked now, but they were ranked at the time. This will be two top 15 wins before the calendar even turns to October. So
Also, we're pretty much gone final here in this Ole Miss LSU
Yeah,
game. That's
and they iced it.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
iced it.
First
It's a
down,
wrap.
first
So-
and goal, Mississippi State inside the 10, about the 6-yard line. First and goal for the Dogs. But speaking of Dogs, as we kind of wrap up this conversation about Alabama and Georgia, I think we'll learn a lot about both these teams tonight because I don't think we truly know. Yes, Georgia has a great downfield passing. They're also one of the worst teams at sacking the quarterback. They're in the 110th position, somewhere right in there, at sacking the quarterback. Something you don't think of with the Georgia Bulldogs. They're going to have to get pressure on Ty Simpson,
Yes.
Jared said, because Ty Simpson, when you give him time,
When you give
is
him time, he's
an
gonna make the
accurate
right throw.
quarterback. He is a smart, accurate quarterback. The secondary was exposed by Tennessee a couple weeks ago, and this is an opportunity for Kalen DeBoer and his offense to wake up. Yes, they look good against the Louisiana directional team, but to be honest, the three of us could probably score against ULM at some point. Whoa, it had a trick play, a lateral to the tight end.
Did he get a touchdown
Mississippi State!
Oh my
Touchdown,
Oh
Mississippi State!
my
Let's go!
word.
What a play! What a
Man,
play!
what was it? 2 weeks ago, you got Rusty, you're scaring the children.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Rusty, you're scaring the kids.
What a play. Touchdown, Mississippi State.
So what was it?
33-27 with it was a pitch and then another lateral
Is
to Sailor
he in?
the
Is
tight
he?
end.
Oh,
That's gonna be
that's
close.
gonna be
on the line.
so
Put it on the
close. They're
line.
I don't know
going
if you
to
can-
review it.
I don't know if you can
turn
overturn
that
that.
over.
Guys, it's a huge game. Let's put our trust into the SEC officials.
Does backwards spike ring a bell with you in 2020? Okay, so you mentioned Mississippi State's last SEC win. I had the thought in my head of what it was, and of course, it was Arkansas 7-3.
Absolutely.
But no, dude. Why is it the past two times we've had this show here at Grind City Brewing, we have watched a Tennessee collapse?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
We need to have a show here. Shout out Charlie and Jordan in the tap room. We have a show here every single week to watch Tennessee collapse. But on the other side of this break, we got one more commercial break. On the other side, we were picking 3 games. We're picking Oregon, Penn State, Alabama, Georgia, and then the mid-off in Columbia, Kentucky, and South Carolina. Hang with us as Mississippi State is kicking the extra point to go up 34-27 on the Vols, baby.
Bang.
See y'all on the other side.
In the heart of the Highland Strip for 27 years, Trilogy Tattoo has helped tell stories for Memphians for generations. Located at 530 South Highland, Richie and his team are waiting to help you tell yours.
From tattoos to piercings, your body art should be as unique as you are. Voted a Memphis Flyer top 3 tattoo shop in the city of Memphis since day one. Your story will be safe here at Trilogy Tattoo.
Open 7 days a week, Monday through Saturday, 11 to 11, and 3 to 11 on Sundays. They have convenient times waiting on you. Let Trilogy Tattoo help you tell your story.
It just shows how fragile an NBA season is, bro. Like I had these conversations with fans all the time, and they say, "Well, we need to go get a backup point guard just in case, Ja gets hurt or whatever." And just like Houston, like Russell Westbrook ain't saving your season, bro. Like Fred VanVleet is the guy that you had as your starting point guard. He's a vet point guard, won an NBA championship. I'm not gonna act like he's some type of all NBA player, but he was the guy that you had this season planned around. And that's going to affect this season. Am I saying Houston's going to be ass now? No. But they're not going to be as good as you thought they were going to be coming to the season, man. Guard play, especially point guard play, matters in the NBA. And doing it without having one really on your roster is definitely going to hurt.
Tune in to the Anthony Sane Show Monday through Fridays at 1 p.m. live on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
U.S. went down in 3 of the 4 matchups this morning, so that's why you're seeing the U.S. being the not favorite, or the Europe being the favorite. It's a race to 14.5 points for anybody that doesn't know. There's 28 available points, and so the teams have to get to 14.5 or there's a tie. If there's a tie, the reigning champion keeps the trophy and the status as champion. Jared says Scotty Scheffler equals George Washington for the weekend. It's going to have to be a big comeback because his team got drilled this morning.
Which, I mean, America was down 3-1 in 1776 before we made the largest comeback in the history of the world. History up to that point. And we got time left. There's time left for a Bunker Hill. There's time left for a rally in Valley
Gettysburg.
It's coming. It's coming. The Americans are coming.
Tune in to the 2 Buck Sports Show with Rusty Witten and Drew Gann, Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Welcome back to Grind City Brewing, your home for Mississippi State football this fall and the home of Tennessee collapses, man. We were just talking about
more
this.
accurate.
Kenny, this isn't Stark Vegas media. This is Bluff City media.
It absolutely is.
If you guys were wondering, the reason why Mississippi State's playing so well is because Rusty was at that biscuits and gravy wrestling match.
At the Pony?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Or is it just because, like I said, we're having a show during a big
collapsed?
Tennessee game?
Well,
We
that's
watched that
more
2 weeks ago.
accurate.
Yeah. No, Maggie, I did not go watch Biscuits and Gravy Wrestling.
Oh,
today.
no,
He
didn't watch it. He was a part of it.
He was a part of it.
Yeah.
I still got a little gravy over here, but we're gonna leave that completely alone. So as we wrap up the show here, we got 2 big games and 1 mid-off tonight in the SEC. So we will start with Oregon and Penn State. Again, the Ducks travel to Happy Valley to face Penn State. Penn State is a 3.5 point home favorite. Jared, I'm gonna go to you first. Who wins in the game?
Who wins in the Oregon Penn State? I think Oregon does. Once again, the lights get too bright for Penn State, and I think it's going to be close for a while. But when come crunch time, James Franklin and his team is going to find a way to throw this ball game away.
Yeah. Zach?
Yeah. I mean, I'm on the Ducks as well, plus 3.5.
Plus 3.5.
Yeah. I think there's a chance Penn State might actually win this game.
There's a chance.
I think it's going to be so close. And that's what I kind of teased earlier was like, I think Vegas got this line like kind of spot. I think it's going to be a 3-point game one way or the other probably. Sure. And so I think the safer bet is just to take the point, the Ducks on the road there. And either way, I really, if Penn State wins, I think it's like, we talked about this like week 1, right? With the LSU Clemson game, which we were completely wrong about. Yeah. But so I'll probably be completely wrong about this.
One of us on this stage said the Clemson will be one of the last 2 teams playing in January.
That was you.
It was.
Just to clarify. But I think it's gonna be a super close game. Just give me the points. Give me the Ducks on the road. Give me the points, and I just don't trust Penn State enough. I think they can squeak out a win, but I like Oregon.
Cowards, both of y'all. I'm taking Oregon on the money line. I think they win outright. I don't know that
Isn't
they cover.
this segment called Picks Against the Spread?
See, that's where
it's called Picks Against the Spread.
That's where I get into like when they do their Friday picks on the $2 Sports Show, and they're like, yeah, we're picking against the spread, and here goes Rusty with 3 money line picks.
I'm like, yeah, like I'm not only taking like they're going to cover and they're going to win outright. Like I'm taking it all the way.
So then you're taking the cover, and
you're taking the cover and the win.
The money.
Fair. I'm taking the cover. I'm teasing the money line. How about
go.
that? I think Oregon wins tonight. I don't think James Franklin, like, he's got to win one. He's got to figure one out, right? There's going to be a win there some point.
Yeah.
It ain't tonight. Dante Moore is the truth. The UCLA transfer. He's a sophomore. He's just now finding his stride. Oregon runs the ball at a prolific rate.
Yes.
Like I said earlier, I think they're going to hang on to the football. I think they're going to keep Penn State out of this game. And I think that Oregon wins this game.
Yeah, they're going to play well early, which is going to quiet the crowd, that wide out and all that stuff. They're going to play well. It's a Dan Lanning team. They're going to be disciplined, and so I like the Ducks. I think we all like the Ducks.
Second game, we got Alabama traveling between the hedges. They are facing a Georgia Bulldog team who they have had the number of. Georgia is a 2.5-point home favorite, which tells me on a neutral field, Bama would probably be favored by a point and a half.
Yeah.
Zach, who you got?
I got Georgia. I just don't know what this Alabama team is. So I could be off on this, but I've seen more positive things from Georgia this season so far, which, I mean, maybe that win against Tennessee doesn't mean as much as they might lose to Mississippi State, but
there's still 7-15
a lot of time
left.
left. Yeah, I would hate if I jinx this for Ruts. That would be terrible. I would hate that. No. But in all seriousness, Georgia at home. I like the dogs in this spot. I think that also part of me just really as an Auburn fan, which I hate. Honestly, I do hate Georgia more than I hate Alabama, which is the rare Auburn fan thing. But growing up in Georgia, it just caused me to hate the dogs.
Sure.
You get barked at to a certain point where you can't be barked at anymore. And so, but I would just, if Alabama loses this game, it's going to be a freak out in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah.
And so that's what I want to see. But also I think that Georgia just with their defense, and I think Stockton can do enough. I think that's going to be the theme of the season for Georgia. Stockton can do enough.
Yeah, and I'm right there with you. I was sitting here in my head. I'm having like second thoughts, but Georgia 2.5. I like that a lot simply because if this gets to a third down, it's almost a guaranteed conversion, and that's like just the big thing you've seen with Alabama this year. And I've harped on it a lot. I think this Bama defense is good, but I do not think they are the great Bama defense of the past. They've certainly taken a step back. Georgia's defense is really good. One thing Florida State did really well is force Ty out of his comfort zone.
Yeah.
And when Ty's not in his comfort zone, Ty, I love you, but man, it's just one of those things.
Big stop for Mississippi State. It's going to be third and long. Third and long for the balls.
It's just one of those things where if you get Ty out of his comfort zone, feet get a little choppy and he rushes his decision just a tad bit. But if the Bama line can protect, different story. But I'm taking Georgia 2.5.
Y'all are cowards, man. I'm taking Alabama to cover, tease the money line, whatever you want to say. I think Alabama goes to Georgia. Jam Miller is going to be the difference maker tonight. Alabama has struggled to run the football, and I think a big part of that is they've been missing their stud running back. I think Jam Miller gets him out of a jam tonight. Alabama runs the football. They control the line of scrimmage. Caden Proctor has not played well for Alabama. I look for a big bounce-back game for Alabama. And it is 4th down, Tennessee, 4th and 5 maybe.
How much time we have
Tennessee,
left?
just inside the 55.5 minutes to go. It's kind of on that decision time. But I'm taking Alabama to cover. I think they're going to win tonight. I think Ty Simpson and Jam Miller have a big game, and Alabama finds a way to win. And then finally, in a game that absolutely nobody cares about, but we wanted to pick 3 games. Kentucky travels to South Carolina to face a reeling South Carolina team. Shane Beamer has gone 7-1, I think, against Kentucky. I think he's only got 1 loss against Kentucky. I'm taking Kentucky to cover tonight. I just don't buy the South Carolina team. They have burned me a couple of times. I was big on Lenore Sellers. I said they're going to be one of the darling teams. Tennessee going for it on 4th down.
And they
got good catch. Good catch on a bad throw.
Yeah, good catch on a bad throw. Tennessee's moving the ball in plus territory now. 4:50 to go. First and 10 inside Mississippi State 40. That's a big play. But I'm taking Kentucky to cover against South Carolina. Jared, who you got?
I'm taking USC, man. I can't get behind any more of a Mark Stoops-led Kentucky team. It's been that Kentucky team's complacent with 4 to 6 wins every year, it appears, and Mark Stoops is not going to get them over the hump. he's just kind of coaching of a ghost of the one good Kentucky team that he's had.
Yeah, they reached their peak. They're done. They've given up on that. Yeah, I mean, I just starting off with this game, just hate I have to pick this. Hate these teams. I hate everything about this.
Sure.
I will not be putting real USDs on this game because I mean,
this.
yeah, I put real USDs on all these other games that we've talked about. This game I'm staying so far away from. These are two teams.
Something dumb is going to
Absolute
happen.
mid-off.
Yeah, it's gonna be ridiculous. You're right. I think something insane is gonna happen. I'm just
Crap,
like,
big play, Tennessee inside the 20
oh
first down.
yeah, I don't
Aguilar
even.
was-
This
yeah.
is bad. I didn't even do my research on this because I just don't. Is Zach Calzada starting still?
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I know he got hurt a little bit, and so I wasn't sure if he was still. Yeah, I mean, if you think I'm putting money on Zach Calzada, you've lost your mind. But yeah,
I'm not
just,
putting money on either of these two teams.
yeah, I mean, these teams are. I think that this is just a spot where South Carolina, they have just enough to get them over the edge and probably win by a touchdown. I mean, I think they just have enough. Sellers is obviously the superior quarterback.
Yeah.
Make a couple plays. Both these teams are in pretty bad spots. I still think Sellers is good enough for the South Carolina to like make an upset here or there. Like he's not reached Lagway territory for me yet. If he has a bad performance tonight, then
He probably will.
we will reevaluate. But I think they're going to be I think South Carolina's going to be the better coach team, and I think they're going to have the better quarterback, and that's my philosophy. Coach, quarterback, what do I like more? I like a Beamer and
fair.
Sellers more. So
There's still plenty of time for you to get to Grind City Brewing tonight for these big games tonight. Again, Oregon, Penn State, Tennessee, Mississippi State is coming down to the wires. 2 minutes and 40 seconds to go. 3rd and 1 for the Vols inside the 10-yard line. False start on Tennessee.
Not again.
Another
Not
one.
again.
False start on Tennessee is going to be 3rd and 6 from inside the 15, backing them up. Y'all come on down, hang out, watch the end of this one. We got 2 big games coming up next: Alabama, Georgia, Oregon, Penn State. We'll be back here on October the 18th. Zach, tell them real quick what's coming up the next 2 weekends here.
yeah. So 2 big weekends for us coming up. Obviously, Oktoberfest next weekend. That's what it's all about. You guys have to be here. It's going to be so much fun. We got live music. We got vendors. We have so much fun stuff. Slow Down Dry Goods, who's just, if you're in Memphis, you got to know those guys. They're the best. They do this coolest stuff. They're doing their fall, winter pop-up. Their first pop-up is going to be here for that event,
That's awesome.
which is going to be so awesome. They just released their new clothing line. It's so sick. So they're going to be here for that. We got some awesome bands coming on. We got the Steins. We're going to have games. So we have 4 games going on in the yard, from wiener tosses to keg tosses to what's going on in the game.
First down Tennessee. What an effort.
I don't think that's what Kenny and I were oohing at.
Yeah.
Oh,
Pause.
Yeah, the wiener tosses. Kenny's lined up first in line for that. But we got Stein sliding competitions, all leading up to the famous Stein.
Yeah, show that Stein up close to the camera.
Yeah, check that out. And there'll be a Stein holding competition, which is going to be super
Staple
fun.
of October.
And those get intense.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
you want to get here. You want to make sure you sign up for that. It's going to be an absolute blast, and it's going to be a beautiful day out here. Can't wait. And then just another great Saturday after that. We have a biking charity event going on the next week, which is going to be awesome. And just so much fun stuff going on. We're doing Thursday night football on the projector, so come out for that. Catch a Thursday night football game. We also have a wiffle ball league going on Thursday nights, so you can come watch some wiffle ball and then watch some Thursday night football after that. It's just the calendar's stacked full of stuff. We got new beers rolling out. We also have, which I've teased this a little bit on social media, but for the true Grind City fans, we have some very exciting beers that have not been made in years that were fan favorites. The OGs will know with what I'm saying what beer it is. I'm not going to announce it yet. I'll tease it for now. But if you're an OG Grind City fan, the original Grind City staple beer is making an appearance for the 5-year anniversary.
Let's go.
So that is
Make
going to
sure
be
you come out for
big
that.
hit.
Yeah. Make sure you come out for that. Check us out on Bluff City Media's YouTube page. If you're here, give us a thumbs up. Turn those notifications on. Subscribe while you're here. But for Zach, for Jared, for Kenny on the mics, for all of us here at Grind City, y'all come out and watch football, but we are